guys, I'm in Zion National Park today. I'm hiking to Angel's Landing and taking lots of pictures. I'm not just quite sure what I want to turn into a painting yet, but I have a lot of options, so check back and we will see what I paint. Hey guys, I'm here in my studio with my giant canvas that I purchased. It's 5 feet long, 4 feet tall, and I'm gonna make a painting of Zion National Park. The first thing I'm gonna do is draw the grid on my reference photos, and the second thing I'm going to do is draw my grid on my canvas so that everything matches up so I can go ahead and start painting. Okay, I am very excited to get started with this massive painting I'm going to be making. These are my 2 reference photos that I took in Zion National Park on my hike to Angel's Landing. Let's see here. So this is going to be my primary reference photo that I'm using. It's going to have the same dimensions as my 4 foot by 5 foot canvas, just smaller. And this is going to be my reference. I'm going to add this plant right over here. So I had to cut off this section here because if I used this section and kept my same tags here, that would have made everything crunched and skinnier than it would be in real life. So I wanted to keep these dimensions the same as my large canvas, so I cut this little bit off here. The next thing I did is I put my tick marks for my grid that I'm going to draw. I'm going to be drawing a grid for this one. I don't usually draw a grid before I make a landscape painting because things don't need to be quite so perfect, but because I'm turning a 5 by 7 reference photo into a 4 foot by 5 foot painting, I want to have my grid drawn just to make sure I'm keeping everything accurate so I don't waste time in paint going back and fixing things later. So getting started, I used 1.25 inch tick marks, and I'm gonna draw this line. There we go. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going horizontally, and you'll see on my canvas that for every 1 foot I made a line. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Have 1, 2, 3, 4 going up and down, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going across. Now we are going to take a look at the grid lines on the canvas. 12 inches, and we'll go just like this. 1, 2. Okay, so now I have my grid drawn, and I'm going to sketch where everything's going to be using mineral spirits mixed with oil paint and a neutral shade. And after I get everything laid out on the canvas, I'll start filling in with some color. Alright, let's get started. Dipping a 1-inch brush into my mineral spirits and blending that with some burnt umber. Got some burnt umber on my brush, nice and thin. In my first square up here, I'm going to copy onto the canvas what I see right up there in my reference photo. So I'm gonna bring my reference photo closer to me so I can see a little bit better. Moving to square number 2 and square number 2 on the reference photo. to paint a little bit in this block and these upper blocks back here. I'm going to finish filling in the background mountains. So when we're eyeballing things, when we want to match up something that is on our reference photo with the grid on our large canvas, things that I'll look for are about how far into this square is this mountain shadow finishing. And it looks like it's about halfway through on my reference photo, going from left to right, and it is about halfway from top to bottom. So that's that spot that I want to be in on the canvas. So right here is about my center point of this square, and that is where this shadow ends on my reference photo. So that's how I match everything up from my reference photo onto the canvas. Trying to keep everything exactly where it is in this square and transcribe it onto this square. Can't wait to paint this with some real color. This is going to be beautiful. And in this square, we can see that the base of this mountain is a little bit below our midway point on the square on the reference photo. So that's where I'm going to put this line here. And it's pretty much a straight line, so it starts a little bit above that center line and it goes a little bit below, so all I do is connect the dots and we have our base for that mountain. Gonna scooch over a little bit, and the same thing over here. So it's obviously going to start in that same spot where the last one ended, and we're going to take it over. It's going to go down a little bit farther, and we're just going to connect those dots. Okay, so here's something that is going to change between the reference photo and the painting. In this reference photo, sunlight is coming in and hitting this rock. Because this photo was taken from a different location, sunlight is already on this rock. In this original reference photo, there is no light in the area of the foreground because that giant mountain is blocking the light. So this rock is going to be all in shadow. It's not going to have any sunlight hitting it, because if it were actually in this spot, there would not be any light hitting this rock. Okay, my first two steps for making this giant painting are done. I drew my grid line and I sketched out where everything is going to be, matching my reference photo to the canvas. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and you can follow me as I make this entire painting from start to finish. Next week I'm going to paint the sky and the mountains in the background, and you can follow along and get some more tips on learning how to paint.